Welcome, little listeners, to tonight's bedtime story on our magical podcast, where dreams take flight and adventures are as big as your imagination. Today we are going on a heartwarming journey through the small village where Lila, a young and timid girl, discovers the courage to stand up for what she loves. In Lila Saves the Old Tree, we explore the story of an ancient tree that is not only the lungs of the village, but also a sanctuary for countless creatures. This enchanting tale weaves together themes of bravery, community, and the profound connections between nature and humanity. Tune in and let Lila's journey inspire you to find the courage within to speak up for the things that matter most. In the heart of a bustling village, surrounded by fields of wildflowers and clear blue streams, stood an ancient tree. This tree was not just any tree. It was a majestic giant that seemed to touch the sky with its sprawling branches. Its trunk, thick and sturdy, bore the marks of countless seasons, standing tall as a testament to time itself. The tree's canopy was so vast that it provided a cool, inviting shade, becoming a natural gathering spot for the villagers. Children loved to play around this magnificent tree, their laughter echoing through its branches as they chased each other or climbed up to touch the sky. Birds built their nests in its leaves, filling the air with their melodious songs. The bees buzzed contentedly, collecting nectar from the flowers that blossomed around its roots. For the villagers, this tree was more than just a part of the landscape. It was a cherished member of their community, a guardian that had stood by them for generations. The tree seemed to care for the village and its people, its presence a silent protector. To Lila, a shy young girl with bright eyes and a quiet voice, this tree was a dear friend. She spent countless hours beneath its branches, sketching the scenes of life that unfolded around it. The tree, with its grandeur and grace, had become an identity of the village itself, a symbol of the community's heart and spirit. One sunny afternoon, as Lila was sketching the old tree, she overheard some adults talking nearby. She strained to hear their conversation, her heart pounding when she caught the words, "Cut down the tree, new road." Lila's heart sank, disbelief washing over her. At first, she thought they must be talking about some other tree. Surely, they couldn't mean the ancient guardian of her village, the beloved tree that held so many memories. But as she listened further, the dreadful realization struck her. They were indeed planning to cut down her tree. The very thought was unimaginable. Lila raced home, her heart pounding and tears streaming down her cheeks. She burst through the front door, calling out for her parents. "Mom! Dad!" she cried, her voice breaking. Her parents, startled by her distress, rushed to her side. "Lila, sweetheart, what happened?" her mother asked, kneeling to look into her tear-filled eyes. They want to cut down the tree," Lila sobbed, her words tumbling out in a rush. "Our tree, the big, beautiful one in the village square. They want to cut it down to make way for a new road." Her father frowned, his brow furrowing in concern. "Are you sure, Lila? That tree has stood there for generations." Lila nodded vehemently, her voice trembling. "I heard them talking about it today. They said it's the only way to make space for the new road. How can they do that?" "It's not just a tree. It's our home. It's where we play, where the birds sing and the bees buzz. How can they take it away?" Her mother pulled her into a tight embrace, stroking her hair gently. "Oh, Lila, I know how much that tree means to you, to all of us. It's a part of our village, our history." Her father sighed deeply, placing a comforting hand on Layla's shoulder. Sometimes, people make decisions without realizing the full impact. But we can't give up hope. Maybe there's something we can do to change their minds." Her parents, shocked and saddened, tried to console her, but Lila's world felt like it was crashing down. After hearing the dreadful news about the tree, Lila felt a heavy weight settle on her chest. Every time she passed by the ancient tree, she couldn't shake off the despair that gripped her heart. The thought of losing such a magnificent and beloved part of her village was unbearable. Her mind was a whirlwind of worry, and she found it hard to focus on anything else. In the days that followed, Lila's usual cheerfulness faded. She stopped sketching, stopped playing with her friends, and spent more time alone, sitting under the tree with a forlorn expression. The villagers noticed the change in her, but it was her grandma who felt the depth of Lila's sorrow. One evening, as the sun began to set and the sky turned a soft shade of pink, Lila's grandmother found her sitting quietly under the tree, her sketchbook untouched beside her. The old woman sat down next to Lila, her eyes filled with concern. "Lila, my dear," she said gently, "you've been so quiet lately. What troubles you?" Lila looked up at her grandmother, her eyes brimming with tears. "Oh, Grandma," she began, her voice trembling, "they're going to cut down the tree. I can't imagine our village without it." Her grandmother nodded, her expression somber. "I heard about the plan for the new road. It's a difficult situation indeed." Lila's voice cracked as she continued, "I can't shake off this feeling of despair. The tree isn't just a tree to me. It's a friend, a home for so many creatures. How can they just cut it down like it doesn't matter?" "I understand, Lila. This tree is special to all of us. It's seen us grow, and we've seen it change with the seasons. It's a part of our history and our daily lives." Lila wiped her tears, frustration evident in her eyes. "I feel so helpless, Grandma. I'm just a kid. What can I possibly do to save it?" Her grandmother smiled gently, a twinkle of wisdom in her eyes. "Lila, sometimes the most profound changes come from the smallest voices. Courage isn't about being unafraid. It's about doing what's right, even when you're scared. If this tree means so much to you, then maybe it's your turn to stand up for it." "But what if they don't listen to me?" Lila asked, doubt creeping into her voice. Her grandmother took her hand, giving it a reassuring squeeze. "You have a kind heart and a deep love for this tree. Speak from your heart and people will listen. You might be surprised at how much your words can move others." Lila took a deep breath, feeling a spark of hope ignite within her. "You're right, Grandma. I have to try. I can't just sit back and do nothing." Her grandmother nodded, her eyes full of pride. "That's the spirit, my dear. Prepare your thoughts, speak with conviction, and know that we'll all be here supporting you. You're stronger than you realize." With her grandmother's words echoing in her heart, Lila felt a newfound determination. She knew the path ahead would be challenging, but with her family's support and the love she had for the ancient tree, she felt ready to take on the challenge. One afternoon, as Lila was still grappling with how to save the tree, she overheard her parents discussing the upcoming school annual day celebration. The village elders would be attending the event, as they did every year, to watch the children's performances and celebrate the community's achievements. A light bulb went off in Lila's mind. This was her chance. The annual day was a highly anticipated event, and the elders who held the power to save the tree would all be there, gathered in one place. She realized this was the perfect opportunity to make her voice heard. Her heart raced with a mix of fear and excitement. If she could muster the courage to speak in front of everyone, she might be able to change their minds. With renewed determination, Lila decided that she would use the annual day celebration as her platform to save the beloved tree. She started by writing down all her thoughts, memories, and the reasons why the tree was so vital to the village. Her notebook quickly filled with notes and sketches, capturing the essence of what she wanted to convey. Every evening, Lila would stand in front of her bedroom mirror, clutching her notebook tightly. She practiced her speech, her voice shaky at first. She stumbled over words, her nerves getting the best of her. But each day, she grew a little more confident. She imagined the faces of the villagers, the elders, and the tree itself standing tall and proud. Soon she felt ready, not just to speak, but to make a difference. The day of the school's annual celebration arrived, and the village buzzed with excitement. The school grounds were transformed into a vibrant festival of colours and activities. Streamers in bright reds, blues, and yellows were draped across the school's entrance, fluttering gently in the breeze. Balloons of all sizes and colours swayed cheerfully, tied to every available post and railing. A large banner stretched across the main building read, "Welcome to our annual day celebration," in bold, colourful letters. Children dressed in their best outfits ran around, their laughter filling the air, while parents and villagers mingled, sharing stories and admiring the decorations. A stage had been set up at one end of the playground, its backdrop painted to resemble a sunny day, with the village's ancient tree standing tall and proud. Rows of chairs were arranged neatly in front of the stage, reserved for the villagers and the honoured guests, the village elders. The elders themselves were seated in the front row, their expressions a mix of anticipation and curiosity. The headmaster of the school took to the stage, welcoming everyone with a broad smile. "Welcome, everyone, to our annual day celebration," he announced, his voice booming through the speakers. "Tonight, we celebrate our children, our community, and the wonderful memories we've created together." The program kicked off with performances by the students. There were lively dances, heartfelt songs, and short skits that had everyone clapping and cheering. The air was filled with joy and pride as parents watched their children showcase their talents. Backstage, Lila stood nervously, clutching her speech tightly. She could hear the applause and laughter from the audience, and it made her heart race even faster. Her grandmother stood beside her, offering comforting words and gentle encouragement. "You'll do great, Lila," she said softly. "Just speak from your heart." Finally, the headmaster returned to the stage, announcing the highlight of the evening. "And now, we have a special presentation by one of our very own students. Lila, she has something important to share with all of us." Taking a deep breath, Lila stepped onto the stage. The bright lights and the sea of faces momentarily overwhelmed her, but then she spotted her parents and her grandmother in the audience, their encouraging smiles giving her strength. The backdrop of the ancient tree seemed to watch over her, reminding her of why she was there. With trembling knees and a heart full of determination, Lila took her place at the microphone. The audience fell silent, waiting for her to speak. Taking a deep breath, Lila stepped up to the microphone. The sight of the familiar faces in the audience, their expressions full of anticipation and curiosity, gave her the strength she needed. She glanced at her grandmother, who nodded encouragingly. "Good evening, everyone," Lila began, her voice trembling slightly. "My name is Lila, and I have something very important to share with you tonight." She paused, gathering her thoughts and steadying her nerves. "In the heart of our village, there stands a tree. Not just any tree, but a magnificent ancient tree that has been here for as long as anyone can remember. This tree is more than just a part of our landscape. It is the heart and soul of our village." Lila's eyes scanned the crowd, noticing how attentive everyone had become. "This tree has given us so much. It provides shade on hot summer days, a place for our children to play, and a home for so many creatures. Every morning, we wake to the songs of the sparrows, the Smith family, who live in its branches. They chase away pests and bring joy with their melodies. As she mentioned the Smith family of sparrows, a few smiles appeared in the audience, and a gentle ripple of amusement passed through the crowd. She continued, her voice growing stronger with each word. The bees, the knights, buzz happily among its flowers, pollinating our crops and ensuring we have fruits and vegetables to eat. Without them, our gardens would suffer and our harvests would dwindle. Again, a mild amusement spread through the audience at the idea of bees being knights. The villagers exchanged glances and soft chuckles, their affection for Lila's imaginative descriptions evident. Lila's passion was evident as she spoke. And let's not forget the squirrels, the bakers, who leap from branch to branch, planting seeds that grow into new plants and trees. They help cleanse our air and enrich our soil. Each creature, each bird, contributes to the cycle of life that sustains our village. She paused, looking around at the captivated faces. Many of us have fond memories of playing under this tree, climbing its sturdy branches, and enjoying its cool shade during the hottest days. The tree has witnessed our celebrations, our sorrows, and our everyday lives. It is a silent witness to our history and a cherished part of our community. Taking a deep breath, Lila continued, "But now, this beloved tree is in danger. There are plans to cut it down to make way for a new road. If we lose this tree, we lose a vital part of our village, a part of our identity." Tears welled up in her eyes as she spoke from the heart. This tree is not just a tree. It is a home, a sanctuary, and a symbol of our village's resilience and unity. We cannot let it be destroyed. We must find another way to build the road without losing this precious part of our lives. Lila looked directly at the village elders, her voice filled with conviction. "I know I'm just a child, but I believe that sometimes the smallest voices can make the biggest difference. Please, I beg you to reconsider the decision to cut down our tree. Let's work together to find a solution that preserves our heritage and our environment." She concluded, her voice steady and resolute. Saving this tree isn't just about protecting a piece of nature. It's about safeguarding our memories, our community, and our future. Thank you. The hall fell silent for a moment, the weight of Lila's words sinking in. Then slowly applause began to build, growing louder and more enthusiastic. The villagers, moved by her heartfelt plea, realized the true importance of the ancient tree. The village elders, who had listened intently throughout her speech, exchanged thoughtful glances. The village elders huddled together, discussing animatedly. After a few minutes, one of the elders, Mr. Thompson, stood up and addressed the crowd. "Lila has reminded us all of what truly matters. We have decided to reroute the road. The tree will stay. We cannot let go of something so dear to our hearts." A cheer went up from the crowd. People hugged each other, and some even lifted Lila onto their shoulders, chanting her name. The sense of relief and joy was palpable. The celebration continued with renewed vigor. Lila's bravery was the talk of the evening. The village decided to implement a nature watch program inspired by Lila's speech. Volunteers signed up to take care of the tree and its inhabitants, ensuring their safety and well-being. Lila's parents hugged her tightly, tears of pride in their eyes. "You did it, Lila," her mother whispered. "You saved the tree." Her grandmother beamed with pride. "You spoke from your heart, and it touched everyone. You truly are a brave girl." From that day on, the ancient tree stood even taller. a symbol of the village's unity and the power of a single voice to make a difference. Lila's speech had not only saved the tree but had also instilled a deeper appreciation for the natural world around them. Lila herself blossomed into a confident young girl, her once quiet voice now a source of inspiration for others. She continued to draw and write, capturing the beauty of the tree and the life it supported. Her bravery became a beacon of hope and a reminder that even the smallest voices can make the biggest differences. Years later, as the village thrived and the tree stood taller than ever, people would often look at it and remember the day a little girl's courage changed everything. And so, the village and its beloved tree continued to grow together, their stories forever entwined, rooted in the shared history and the promise of a bright future. We hope you were touched by the courage of little Lila. It's stories like these that remind us of the power of voice, the beauty of nature, and the strength we can find in our roots. If you enjoyed today's story, be sure to subscribe and share it with your friends and family. Until next time, keep the spirit of adventure alive, and may you find your own story in the whisper of the leaves.